Hey, how are you? Welcome to Curries for Every Kitchen, and I'm Shobha. Today I'm going to show you a dish very popular. It's called Palak Paneer or Palak Paneer, which is a creamy spinach and with chunks of fresh cheese. I'm going to show you how to make the homemade cheese first. It's very easy. I'm bringing 4 cups. I brought 4 cups of milk into boil. Only trick thing is you have to constantly stir it while it is boiling, so it won't burn the bottom and side. To that, once it come to boil and see the bubbles are coming up, you turn the stove off and I had 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to pour it slowly while stirring it. There you go. Milk, right away milk curdles. That's what the fresh cheese is. And you use this cheese to make many dishes. Some sweet and some savory. And if you are making a savory dish, you can add salt and pepper to it right away. Or if you're making a sweet dish, you can just leave it that way. Since we are making savory dish today, I'm gonna put some salt, season with salt and pepper. Okay. Once we did that, I have a cheesecloth. I have a bowl right here and my strainer, cheesecloth. I folded it 3/4 and then put it over there. And I'm going to drain all the cheese away from the whey. Once you do that, don't throw the whey away because you can use that into soups. Once I do that, see, the liquid is separated from the cheese and the cheese stayed up on our strainer. Once we did that, and I'm going to drain out any water, put it in there, and you got to put some little heavy on it so you can get all the water drained out. It's going to take half an hour. All I did was my Pyrex cup and put it over there and fill it up with the water. So it'll keep it balanced and it keeps draining out. So that's our fresh made cheese. Okay, our cheese is draining very nice, and when it is dripping, let's make the salt part of it. I got a dab of butter on a hot pan, and I washed a pound of baby spinach and drained it very thoroughly. Now I'm going to saute it. We're going to wilt this spinach, all of it, with a little bit of salt and pepper and cool it. Okay, we just made homemade cheese. I just cut it into cube. How cool is that? It doesn't take not even 30 minutes to make a homemade cheese. You can also make this with the tofu, if you like, firm tofu, or if you want to, you can buy already made cheese from Indian store. But how cool it would be to make a homemade cheese in your own home. So we are at the last part of the dish. I have some 2 tablespoons of oil. It's like simmering. It's very hot. I have some finely chopped onion. It's almost to the paste, but not to the paste. I'm going to put that onion. Lower the temperature until onion brown. And I also have another part. I have 1 tablespoon of oil just getting warm. I'm gonna roast our cheese just to give you a nice crispy edges around the cheese that'll stand up when you add the cheese in it. Look at that. Our onions are getting brown nicely. Just to keep an eye on it. Don't let them stand at one place. They will get very brown and oh, you can smell that onions roasting nicely. Just roast it for like 1 or 2 minutes on each side. It'll get nice and crispy. Now our onions are brown. To that I'm adding 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. Next thing I'm going to add is, it's a dry fenugreek leaves. It's optional. It smells very good. It gives you very ethnic feeling of Indian dishes. But if you don't find them, you'll definitely find them in Indian grocery store. But if you don't have it, that's fine. You can use dried parsley or dried mint like that. And I'm just going to add these things. To that, I have 3 tomatoes. I pureed it, and I'm going to add it. And I'm going to cover it and let it cook for at least 2 minutes until all the tomatoes rawness comes out. Okay, our tomatoes are already cooked and nice and paste. To that, I'm going to sprinkle a little salt. Salt is to your taste, as much as you want to. But watch out, we already put a little bit of salt in the cheese and a little bit of salt in the spinach. To that, I'm going to add, let's get my toasted dabba. I have a half a teaspoon of ground coriander and a half a teaspoon of ground cumin and a little over half a teaspoon of red chili powder and a quarter teaspoon of garam masala. And I'm going to mix this together and lower the temperature until all the spices are roasted and it gives you nice aroma and it mixes with the tomato paste. Now the wilted cheese spinach that we have, I'm going to keep it with all water and everything. Just put it in there on a food processor, any kind of food processor, and process it. It doesn't have to be very creamy. You just need to I use the baby spinach here. It has a very sweet and very tender and fresh taste. If you want, you can use the large leaf spinach also. There we go. Our spinach is all ready. To that, we're going to add the spinach to that. And I'm going to lower the temperature and let it simmer just for a few minutes. Okay, we almost come to the end of our dish. All I'm doing right now is adding a 3/4 cup of milk to make it even more creamier. Okay, now we're going to add our cheese. Look at that, our cheese is so nicely roasted and everything. Nice idea. If you give it next time a dinner party, make a cheese like this and roast it like that, sprinkle with a little curry powder, and it makes a nice appetizer. I'm going to put them in there and stir it. There you have it, our creamy spinach with cheese. I know this dish is very popular among Indian restaurants and Indian restaurant goers, but you don't need to take out order, or you don't need to go to Indian restaurant to make a nice Palak Paneer. You can make it at home and enjoy it anytime with the few ingredients that you found it in your supermarkets. And to serve it, I'm going to serve it with the rice. This dish is very popular in North India. You can also serve it with naan and roti or any kind of bread that you do it. But I'm from South India. everything goes with rice for me. Last but not least, sprinkle little cilantro over it. That's it. There's your palak and paneer.